history that you delineated and today's also that you very well summarized Brian's relationship with the city and music. So I have different kinds of thoughts since it's impromptu. So I met Brian in Goa, where he serendipitously we had been chatting about this book over emails, but we met randomly at Goa Arts and Literature Festival. And we didn't know that I'm Amit, he's Brian. But after that, he put me through an ordeal the next 4 days. So at night, he calls me and says, tomorrow morning, why don't you give a 10-minute talk on John Lang for All India Radio? I said, well, Brian, we had a party, long day, I've been drinking, we have been drinking, and so on. And, I can speak. He said, no, we need a script. So I had to wake up all night, write that script, record it next morning, the paper has vanished. So, next thing he meets me and says, why don't you come to my college? See around. I said, very good idea. You go to his college, land at his college and says, why don't you speak on such and such topic, postmodernism and this and that. You're on in 5 minutes. So, all right. So that's what he put me through for the 3 or 4 days I was in Goa last year, and it was great fun. So in my introduction, which we have at the time, it's not very long, you can read it whole. I've called him a Goa conscriptor, very similar to a Goa conscriptor, which is capable of crushing your bones. So he does put me through a lot of tasks. Even this one, I was in the middle of a lot of difficult time, but he made me write. I'm glad he made me write this introduction at that point of time last year. So, thing is, I also write about dead, but I don't collect them in one place. So they're peppered here and there. Irfan was interviewing Jasmine once, and he asked him who his favorite actor is. And Nasir Saab said, Dara Singh. Irfan, what's it? Kya hua? Like, you're not saying Marlon Brando or this or that, Dilip Saab. He said, all that I can do, I can emote, I can try. All that I can do very easily. What I can't do is lift someone and throw them off. Dara Singh. So that's why Dara Singh is my favorite actor. So similarly, but where one is landlocked, so I don't want to bring out a collection about a landlocked place. I'm fascinated by the ocean. And so my latest collection of poems is The Knot of Juggernaut, or The Mystery of Miami Mambo, which I have written in Bhubaneswar, the Juggernaut part of it, and the Textuality Miami Mambo part. So the shores of Miami. So Goa also, of course, fascinates me. I don't have a Goa book yet, but there will be a reply to this book to the Goa book. But I wrote a Brian poem when I was in Goa, so I'll read that. And the father asked Brian, why do you like this? Why do you like to see the sea so? Brian said, because what I see will be saw. What I see will be saw. Yesterday I saw an alive god and a dead dog. I saw them by the sea, and they'll go on my block. And Brian by the watery Miramar brine said, the ocean is all the answers, whether red or not red. The surgeon called and said, I'm sorry, I'm busy with a body. And I said, I'm not sorry, I'm busy with a body of poetry and that of a fish. And on that lazy Goan morning, and the dreamy-eyed puffing Brian said, she's had her soup, and so she's in a good mood, and has asked me, would it be rude to ask him to pay for his food by speaking to our students about something? So I spoke about nothing, and they said they understood everything. I spoke about my battered soul, or was it butter? And then I hitched my wagon to some star, to a beach not far. But it took rather long, the distance always follows the length of the song that is played. At the radio station that morning, I heard a whisper, you're going to meet your mirror. Kolma's waters were in some strange trance, and I saw you and me dance on the waves, much like the waves that rise, the waves that fall, the waves that surge, the waves that call, and you said, oh, your oceanic smell. casts some bewitching spell. We were transported from some virgin islands, and you in your striped thiefly tea, and our footprints in the sand splashed, washed nowhere, and yet transported from there to here. Your eye would say there's no salt, and that's not your fault, that you cannot see the crazy star. Isn't the fault of the sky, it's the habits of the eye. Lean forward, you will hear a whisper. Brian said, ocean has the answer. So, interestingly, Brian also has a Dara poem just next to the Bismillah Khan on
Yes.
the line. And yesterday he called me and said, I swam in the swimming pool of YMCA to relive that poem. Yes, that. 44. On 44. So this is Brian's on the vibe. 5:30 p.m. Cool lights on, like tusks of war elephants that drove under the murky shimmer. When out of the ominous skies, the phalanx of dust smashes into waters, darkness at noon, in the white midnight, as on the plains of Samugad, brother meets brother on a mid-May afternoon in 1658. And here we are on a mid-May afternoon. These many years. So I'm, as in the introduction you pointed out, I'm writing a book on Tara Shikoh. Tara Shikoh, I think, is very important to the history of Delhi.